Are we live? Do we have audio? I don't know if anyone can hear me. I don't know if anyone's here, but we're back. Tuesday, June 25th. Live in your homes. Let's set up the windows. We can see if anyone hops in the chat right here. We'll put you know what? I have two computer screens and I still don't have enough room. I don't know how I feel about that. I need one super wide screen. That would be nice. This is going to be interesting. Maybe I can put this over here. That sort of works. Okay, okay. And now we wait. We wait for someone to enter the chat. 9:45 currently a.m. my time. I'm thinking of doing an hour, and we'll see where this goes. So far, we have a bounce back day, it looks like. I'm sure everyone's happy to see some green. Looks like both meme coins and runes are doing well, very well on the bounce back. Got some runes up over 50% today. One thing I have no clue on what's happening is Blast. I have no idea what's going on over there. That's an ecosystem I have zero knowledge of. I should move my coffee, huh? My desk is cluttered, therefore my mind is cluttered. Not good. That's a good quote. My desk, therefore I am. It might just be me this whole time, I'm realizing. I don't think anyone is going to drop in here and chat with me. I know there's a couple of you real ones out there who are going to stop in. I know it. I'm just waiting. Agent Layer wants to be acquired by Ethereum. What? Does anyone ever get songs stuck in their heads? I'm sure everyone does. No one, huh? You guys are just going to let me sit here and walk alone. All right. Something about that hurts the ego, you know what I mean? I understand. It's a saturated world out there. Everyone's making great content. Everyone's going live. Right? Who am I? Who am I to think I can gather an audience of people to watch me walk on a treadmill? How dare you have those thoughts? That would be a good series, huh? If I just talk out loud to myself as the inner voice, as the inner critical voice. That'd be fun. That'd probably be a very healing practice. It might get dark. Okay, I need to be doing something. I'm just scrolling. Maybe I can intentionally, maybe we can apply for some jobs, huh? What do you say? Get this. There's someone, I shouldn't say this. There's someone selling a little, it's like a makeup organizer. I'm just on Facebook right now, and there's a marketplace thing. And $3. They're saying $3 for this makeup organizer. And I want to know who's driving to this person's house to buy this for $3. I would love to know that story. I almost want to reach out and do a documentary on it. Anyway, I'm scrolling again. You guys need to stop me. Let's see. When's the last time anyone ever went on Craigslist? Oh. Yeah, I know. I am going to pass on this. Where is that? San Clemente, Mission Valley. Whoops. Oh no. No. My website domain expired. Fuck. Fuck. Dang. Well, let's see. Um, okay, that's what we'll do. Well, this is uneventful. Huh? I don't even know. Can you hear me still? Yeah, it looks like I still have audio coming in, but maybe I don't. Yes, I do. Okay, that's good. Looking for sperm donors, $100 per donation. Might have to do that. Oh, oh, oh. Maybe we could do. Oh, this mouse sucks. Oops. Let's get the headphones. Mine as well, huh? Oh. Boom, 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 boom. No. Yeah. Let's do this really quick. Open with Premiere. Dum, 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 dum. Singing the happy birthday song right now because nobody wants to join me today. Okay, I'm closing this. We're gonna change this. Okay, next. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Yes, you are, YouTube. I'm sending you great video. Oh man, should we end this now? No, I said I'd do an hour. We still have 30 minutes. Stream status, poor, not good. Serious issues that need attention. Well, what do I do? Looks good on my end. I don't even know what this restaurant was called. Oh, I guess I guess we're getting a lot of dropped frames right now. I apologize. I think maybe I have too many browsers open or something. Your page's followers also follow. Oh. Well, I apologize for not being entertaining today or ever. Oh, sweet. So I can interact as the Crypto Corner. Excellent. Excellent. Follow me on LinkedIn, everyone. Okay. I see, I see, I see. Can I move this? Sorry if anyone's actually listening. Does anyone else struggle with, let's say you have some client work that you've been avoiding. You're kind of procrastinating because at the end of the day, you don't really want to do work for clients. You want to do work for yourself. So, but as I continue to procrastinate, it makes me stressed to where I don't even want to do anything for myself either. So it's like a lose-lose. And for me, the only way out is to generate income fully reliant on myself. Don't get me wrong, I love working with people sometimes and collaborating on things I want to collaborate with, but I want to do that as a side thing, and I want my main thing to just be moi, me. So we got a lot of work to do, but I'm optimistic. Optimistic because no one's listening. And does anyone else think TikTok is like the craziest platform? It's so obviously manipulated by how they're trying to curb your behavior as a creator and a consumer. It's just weird to me, I'm not gonna lie, but we all still do it. Okay, we're at 36 minutes in, and 0 people have said anything. I did say I'd go for an hour, so I guess I gotta go 20 more minutes. anyone's wondering, I am at 100 minutes in and 2.6 miles so far. Go team. Oh, my stream is back to excellent connection. Good. Maybe I was doing too much. Okay, so now let's do oh man. Documents. Is that this one? June? Oh. Not that one. Oh no. Let's try this. Open. Let's do file duplicate. Staying Let's do this. was I doing? Let's see here. So let's edit this. Edit. Export to PDF. Undo next. Dun, 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 dun. 46 minutes in. We got 14 minutes left. We're going to break the record here. Not one person wants to say anything in the chat. It's got to be a world record, huh? There was a dog that walked. If there was. we're going to switch it up here. What up, Fishman? The Fishman. Why did they call you the Fishman? Are you a good fisherman? Or you just like eating fish? You're literally, here's where we're at in my live stream so far. You're the first person to come in and comment, and I said I'd be here an hour. It's been 53 minutes, so you came right at the end. But what's good? The Fishman. I want to guess the story of the Fishman. I'm going to guess you're a good fisherman. What's the easiest fish to catch? Trout? I've never gone fishing in my life, not gonna lie. But if I did, I'd want to go to like Alaska and catch like a wild salmon and then cook him and eat him. I'm still waiting for your story, Fishman, on your name. I'm sorry if that's annoying. My wire keeps hitting. What fish? I just got my name in one piece? I don't understand. What fish? I just got my... I want to know, are you a fisherman? I just got my name in one piece. I'm not sure I understand what that means. I just got my name. I mean, I like fish. That's all I'm saying. We don't have to talk about fish. We can talk about anything. What do you want to discuss here? I can have opinions on anything. Right now I'm just sending some emails while I walk on the treadmill. I've been here, I've gone 3 miles so far, which is pretty good for my morning walk. I think we've been walking for, let's see, what is this? Almost 2 hours. What are you doing? I'm literally just talking to myself. I mean, this is a crypto channel. I like to talk about crypto stuff, but I'll talk about anything. And basically, I just walk on my treadmill while I do some work. And yeah. Yo, crazy. I've been waiting for you. I've literally, that's so funny you said that. I started 56 minutes ago, and I said I would stream for an hour, and literally you and this guy, the Fishman, just popped in like a minute or like 3 minutes ago, which is hilarious. But I don't mind staying longer, but I mean, I don't know if I'm super entertaining. But yeah, I've been live now for almost an hour. I've been walking for 2 hours. I'm at 3 miles so far. We're chilling. What's going on with you? Yo, you just got a sub. Appreciate you, Fishman. I'm trying to get to 1,000. What am I at now? Like 730 something? I'm trying to get, I think you need 1,000 subscribers and then you can join their, whatever it's called. Even though I don't do long form content, I should start doing it, but I just do shorts right now. But you know, you like to see numbers go up. I'd like to hit 1,000, not gonna lie. My notifications weren't working. That's all good. And I just checked my subscription section. I saw you live. That's cool. I'm happy I'm fucking weaseling my way into some people's feeds. It's good to hear. What are you working on? What is Crazy Platinum doing on a Tuesday at, actually I don't know where you live, so I don't know what time it is, but you work on the computer, or are you just browsing, scrolling? If my memory serves me correctly, now I'm trying to go back, sorry, in my head. Crazy Platinum. I'm pretty sure I asked you about your name, and I'm pretty sure the story was your friends, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure your friends, you're like the crazy one in your friend group, and you just like the word platinum. I'm pretty sure that was it. And you weren't, technically you weren't like into the crypto space, but you were open-minded and interested in hearing some stuff. I think that's right. I try to remember the OGs as much as I can. I'm pretty sure that was your story. And maybe we talked about cereal. I'm not sure. Maybe that wasn't you, but I had a cereal talk with someone. I'm just playing some Elden Ring. Got it. That's one thing I never did. I never was into gaming. Because when I was younger, you only played against a computer, not like a community of people, so. Spot on. Yeah, I knew it. So you work with Crypto Thing. I don't know what that means. I've worked for a couple crypto companies, doing video work for them. I used to work for two. I work for one now, and then I'm trying to just build up this channel. But I guess I'm not exactly sure what that question means. So you work with Crypto Thing. What do you do in Elden Ring? Do you complete missions or something, or do you shoot people? Or I'm not familiar with that one. I guess the only ones I'm familiar with are like the classic, like Halo, I think, you shoot people. And Roblox, you're like a square guy and you just walk around in a square world. Oh no, that's not Roblox. Minecraft. What's the difference now between Roblox and Minecraft? Now I'm all confused. Minecraft is the one where everyone's a square, right? I don't know what Roblox is. Sorry, I was finishing up an email. Elden Ring, you like fight bosses, okay, and level up your character and become the Elder Lord. Wow, what is the Elder Lord? What can you do as a Lord? Sounds boring. I want to know what these bosses are like. Like, when I hear of a boss in a video game, my first thing is King Koopa or Bowser in Mario. And he was scary as hell. But I'm wondering, what powers do you get as a Elden Lord? Do you get to like cast spells on people? And what happens if you lose? Can your character like die? That'd be a good game. Where like if your character actually dies, you can't be him anymore. That'd be kind of cool. Elden Lord is just a title you gain when you finish the game. Oh, you can finish it? The bosses are painful. I didn't know. I had assumed that Elden Ring was just a game that kind of goes on forever. I didn't know it was something like you can like beat. I thought it was one of those. I don't know what they're called. Like player versus player. Does that make sense? Something like that. But I get it now. So it's a game where you can beat the game. What is the final boss's name? And what happens at the end if you beat it? You just got to start over. But can you play with other people? I'm pretty sure you can play. Now I'm confused. All the gaming dynamics in other games make no sense to me. Sorry, I take that back. It's not that they don't make sense. It's that there's so many different kinds that I get overwhelmed. Because there's games where you can play with people against other people. There's games you can play with people against like the game, the computer. So yeah, I don't know. I think the last game I played was like Tony Hawk. I was freaking epic on Tony Hawk Pro Skater. They had like codes, cheat codes, where you could like slow it down and do a bunch of spins in the air. Once you beat the game, you can play again as your character with the same items. But bosses are stronger and stuff. Or start over a new guy. Okay, so you kind of, oh, that makes sense. Almost like, like in Eastern philosophy, it's like regenerating as a new character and then playing life again. So that's kind of interesting. That you can start over as like a better character. I like that actually. Reincarnation, I think, was the word I'm thinking about. Are there animals in Elden Ring? I'd want to play as like a cat. It is mainly single player, but you can invade people or team up for some bosses. Okay. So there is some collaboration potential with other players. That's cool. I'm really hoping you say yes, that there's cat players. But I'd want to, if I could play as a cat character and just follow around another good player, that would be how I would enjoy the game. Just like hopping around as a cat. But being like the partner to a good player. Hold on here, hold on. Where was I? Also, is Elden Ring a game on the computer or is it Xbox? Maybe we already talked about this. Ooh, I'm pretty sure oh, now I'm confusing chats. I chatted with someone about anime too. I don't think that was you though. But I think we also talked about Xbox and like which number they're at now. It's on Steam. Never heard of it, which is a computer software. Interesting. I've never heard of Steam. I've heard of Steam. There was a social media crypto project called Steam, and then it turned into Hive. But I didn't know. So it's a game on. Oh, it's also on PlayStation. Got it. And Xbox. That makes. Oh, so anyone. Wow. So that means a lot of people can play. It's on a bunch of different. See, that's the way to go. You gotta spread it out to the ethos, and you can play from anywhere. That's cool. What's that handheld one called? Is it on that one too? What's it called? Switch. Or that's Nintendo. Is it on Nintendo? I doubt it. Nintendo's like a locked world, a gated world. But the Switch is closest to the Game Boy, which I had when I was little. Man, the Game Boy was the best. Especially going on a road trip when there was no cell phones. Your family summer vacation, you got to bring the Game Boy and a bunch of batteries and a CD player. That was my life growing up. Unfortunately not. I knew it. Nintendo never lets anyone have fun. I think Nintendo is strictly for young ages. I don't know. Well, maybe, because when I was playing it when I was young, maybe what am I trying to say? People grew up with it, so they still kind of play it. That's what I'm trying to say. Even though I don't, but I would. If I had if I had some extra cash laying around, kind of bored, I'd grab a Nintendo Switch. It just seems like it's the easiest because it's handheld again. I get overwhelmed with the controllers that have all of these buttons. But gaming's going to get interesting. I think there's definitely going to be a merge of like gaming, blockchain tech. I think cryptocurrencies for payments inside the games, and then you throw in these virtual headsets. It's going to get wild. And like, I wouldn't doubt if controllers end up becoming you won't even need a controller anymore because you can control everything with your mind. And then it's like your world, you literally live in the video game, right? And then obviously that's where the weird things start to happen. The Black Mirror episode or whatever, and simulation stuff, all that stuff. Makes sense. But then you have to ask, that's probably what we're living in right now. I'm probably just that now. And like, whoever is controlling me, maybe it's another version of me, is outside of this, and he's got a headset on or something. I don't know why he's controlling me fucking writing emails. That's boring. He should have me out here fucking fighting bosses. Instead, he has me fighting like work bosses. Oh, that's kind of funny, actually. Shouldn't let myself talk into these tangents. Gaming, I think, is going to become what people can only imagine. Yeah. That's why I think, like, growing up, I've always been like an ideas guy. I'm not too good on like execution, which is important. But they kind of like, society kind of like puts idea guys in the corner, but I think they're going to shine soon because that's all you need. Good ideas, and we'll have AI be able to execute anything. So if you got the ideas, you got the, you know, the value. So I'm sticking to it. I'm an ideas guy for life. I just had an awesome idea where I'm controlling myself in another world, and I don't know, he's having me write emails to get money or coins, gaming coins, to level up. I also saw this weird video the other day of like a, it was a, what's it called? Like a product rendering almost. Obviously a futuristic thing, but it's like basically prisoner reform, where if you're a prisoner, instead of taking a life sentence, you can choose to like go in this device that like rewires your brain to where like you don't have like criminal tendencies anymore. It was wild. And they put you in a pod like in the Matrix, and they like, it was crazy. Because it makes sense, right? If you do a crime and you're going to be put away for 30 years, but you have the option, say, hey, you can do 30 years in prison, or you can fucking do 2 hours in this pod, and we rewire your brain. That's going to be nuts. You also said something about anime. Do you watch them, or did he? No, I have zero experience, and he was trying to tell me all the good ones. I wrote them down somewhere. Not here, but I told him I'd watch some, and I haven't, so I'm kind of glad he's not back to hold me accountable. But I was asking him a bunch of questions, and I think my main, I had asked him if there were funny ones, because I need comedy in anything I watch, and he had suggested one that was kind of funny, I think. And then he suggested one that wasn't funny, but was his, I think, favorite. But I don't know, I just couldn't get into them. I couldn't get into anime. I know that they're great stories, and they teach you good things, but just never connected with one. But that seems like it's going to be, anime may be the first, like, if you think about how AI is doing really good at generating images, I think cartoons and anime are going to be the first genre to be able to be like produced with just a thought, right? Like, so that's going to be cool. Like, if there was like an anime show generator and you could type in, like, create these characters, like describe them, and then have the anime kind of create storylines, that's going to be awesome. I'll make my own funny animes. I definitely think that's going to be possible too. Where you can type in, 5 characters, friends, funny, anime, enter, and then it creates a show. I have to sneeze, hold on. I don't want you to hear it. Now I lost it. AI is quite the scary concept, like where it's at now. I mean, yeah, I guess scary is subjective. I take the view that it's literally just a natural part of evolution. I sort of think that I kind of think as humans, because we have this ego and we think that like we're the driving force of like nature and like we're the apex predator, if you will. But I honestly think evolution is driven by technology. I think in a weird way, humans are vehicles to create and spread technology, which is the main driver. So I, yeah, I don't think it's scary. I just think it's like, it's literally the natural progression. But I can understand how, if you do live in the framework of holding on to like what you feel is special about being a human, yeah, I understand AI is a huge threat to like ending what we call humanity now. But also, you really have two options. You can either, be afraid and scared, or you can kind of just accept, unfortunately, that you can also try to do your best to stay away from it. Like, it's difficult, but like, you can try to go live remotely as you can in like, I don't know, Alaska or something. You can try to live the rest of your life, away from technology. But other than that, oh yeah, that the guy who got the first Neuralink implant, he was on Joe Rogan's podcast the other day. I listened to some of it, and yeah, it's kind of cool that like he was the first person to have Neuralink implanted in his brain, and that's just like, that's the start. Now, I think he said there's another person in getting tested to see if he's a good candidate for a second person. But yeah, it starts to help with motor function because he's a quadriplegic. But you can imagine the use cases will go beyond just like helping people with motor function. It's going to be like a second brain to connect you to instantly to the internet. It's going to be wild. And everyone says now like, oh, I'd never get a chip implanted in my head. But what are you going to do when people start doing it and they become instantly smarter than you and instantly more efficient? Of course you're going to have to, right? Like when everyone was riding horses and people were like, no, I'm never going to drive a car. But then cars can get you places faster, they're more efficient, you don't have to feed them. Well, you got to give them gas, but and then people riding horses became extinct. So it's either, in my opinion, you get the Neuralink or you become extinct, unfortunately. I don't know about the time, how fast that will happen. I think it'll be faster than most people think. I think by, where are we in 2024? I think by 2030, easy, there's going to be enough people willing to get it implanted, and there'll be enough, and it'll make them there'll be a lot of incentive to get it done, I think, by 2030. And yeah, maybe there'll be like a two-class system, either the Neuralinks or the un-Neuralinks. kind of like now we're almost in a two-class society. You're either a content creator or a content consumer. I think it'll be the same thing. You're a Neuralink user or a non-Neuralink user. Just my thoughts. Okay. I still have not finished this email. I've been distracted, but a good distraction. Very interesting thoughts. I agree with you though. Yeah. I guess the only I can make arguments to counter myself, and my arguments against myself would be I can almost argue that it's highly likely that even the best attempt at predicting what the future will be is kind of pointless, because you don't have enough data to be able to guess what the future will be, I guess. Like, you know, if you lived in a time where the only like tech was, let's say, radio, if you lived in that time, could you really predict the smartphone? You know, so that's the counter to my own perspective, is that like with the data I have, can I really predict, you know, what's going to happen? And I think that answer is no. So I think maybe if you stay kind of in general, like I said, you know, will we live in virtual worlds? I would say yes, but like being able to predict like what's the day-to-day life of someone who actually does that, that's difficult. Like, are you wearing a VR headset like all day? Or are you hooked up to a device that keeps your body alive while your character in your head goes out and play? Like, I don't know. But if we use Hollywood predictive programming, it seems as though the Matrix has something kind of right. So I would say more than likely we get conditioned to continue believing that the real world is scary and difficult and blah, blah, blah and bad. So we get conditioned to choose, yeah, I would rather choose to go into a pod, especially if the VR experience is the same as my real life experience. Why not choose to get connected to a pod and live my experience in a VR world in a much safer, happier world, right? So, makes sense how we get there. I feel like a lot of us have been consumed by movies. Yep, like Terminator, other robot AI movies and TV shows. Give us ideas, but no one can really. Yeah, I agree. And it's kind of a cumulative, let's call it an aggregate of all of those movies. Yeah, I think there are kind of hints at, and I don't think it's necessarily hints, meaning like there's some master programmer who like already knows the future and places it in movies. I think it's almost the opposite. It's almost like we have visionaries who create movies, and then we kind of as a society become those movies. I don't think it's like someone like a time traveler, puts ideas in movies. I think it's the other thing. As a, you know, as a species, it's almost like we manifest things that we imagine. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen the Ex Machina is awesome, right? There's that movie where people have like a time on their forearm telling them how much longer they have to live, and they can like, you trade time for like work, and you work and then you get extra time on your hand. It's like these concepts, like you said, Terminator, what was the Will Smith one? I Am Robot. And then obviously The Matrix. Yeah, I think it's, or WALL-E. WALL-E's another one that I think is spot on, where you have all of these just obese, overweight people riding this like almost roller coaster thing with these huge screens that they're just watching stuff, drinking Coke or soda, eating fast food, just consuming. WALL-E's a great movie. Whoa, how was your Seattle trip? That threw me off. I must have told you. That's awesome. I did not know that I told anyone that. Good memory. I guess we both get points for good memory. My trip was interesting. I went up to help my sister. She's going to have a baby. And she lives in such kind of a small shoebox. I shouldn't say it. It's like a little townhouse, but it has 3 stories, but all the stories are kind of narrow. And so I don't feel I can go down there, and I don't really want to help her when the actual baby comes, because I don't like crying babies. But I said I would go up there and help kind of rearrange her townhouse to make space and help her clean it, and like to have a good environment for the baby when it comes. And summer in Seattle is awesome. It was very good weather. It was not gloomy. One day, sun went down at like 9:30 or 10 o'clock. Beautiful. I love Seattle in the summertime. So it was good, actually. Thanks for asking. And we went one day. We went paddle boarding out on, I forget, Lake Rainier or something like that. And walking around the lake was also really nice. But I was stressed. I had a lot of work that I was not doing. But I'm happy I did it. And the plane was expensive. The plane, but yeah. But wow, I don't remember talking about Seattle. Where do you live again? I want to say a Carolina, one of those? No. Arizona? No, I'm just naming places. Denver? Those would be my 3 guesses. Colorado, Arizona, or like a Carolina. I don't remember. I don't think you're on the same time zone as me. I kind of am starting to remember a time zone talk. Oh, you're in mountain time. Am I right? I'd be impressed if you are. Because I think I was confused. Because I'm in North Carolina, really? Yeah. I knew it. What time zone is that? Is it time zone North Carolina? I should have remembered it by that song. North Carolina, come on and raise up. Oh, you're in Eastern time. Okay, so we didn't have the mountain talk. Because there was mountain time zone or something that threw me off that someone else was in. That is like 1 hour or 2 hours off or something of my time zone. I'm in Pacific. What, right? What is mine? I'm in Pacific time zone. PST? Time zones make no sense to me. Yeah, I'm in Pacific time. It's crazy now that I'm thinking about it, the way memory works. Right? We have all this shit going on. We consume shit all day. Most of it is garbage, right? Like fake news, real news. We talk to friends, family all the time. And we still remember like little things of like little conversations. Not even face-to-face conversations, right? I mean, you can kind of see my face, but I see words. So actually, you could be a bot. Now I'm going crazy. You might not even be real. But I'll assume you're real. Let's see. How do you know? I don't. I guess though I have to assume you are, because if I don't, I'll go crazy. I already think, like, on TikTok specifically, I already think that most interactions are completely made up. I think, because if you kind of pay attention to everything, meaning like the time you post, there's these almost like weird senses I get of like being punished if you don't open the app enough. And like, then again, and then they try to reward you with like giving you a couple followers, and then that makes you want to open the app again. It's very strange. Again, it could just be paranoia, but I think there's a lot of conditioning dynamics in TikTok, and I think most of the followers, I think it's mostly non-real people. And then you have to assume maybe TikTok isn't the only one who does that, and then you end up doubting if anyone you talk to on the internet is real. Because then it almost is setting you up to like, we already live in that virtual world, right? Because even in this, we live in this half world where I'm in real life, I think I am, but I live in this, not live in, but I experience these digital, right? Like I'm experiencing our conversation digitally now. So yeah, I don't know. Now I'm going crazy. Uh-oh. You hear that landscape guy. Sorry, he's always has loud fucking leaf blower. Very loud. Anyone who works from home in this area, like me, he like works in a different part of the neighborhood every day. So like there's always noise. But I can't complain. I mean, the neighborhood looks nice. No, see, there's the opposite. You say I can assure you. Oh, I can assure you I'm real, though. That's what obviously something non-real person would say. But I thought you were saying that you can assure that I'm real because you can see me. But what if I'm just an AI generation, right? So you don't even know that. And so no one knows. There's no such thing as truth, unfortunately. But I would say a high likelihood that you are a real person. But do you think that there are aliens in like people's bodies that you see? My sister has that theory that there's like aliens. She says she witnessed it in like, not witnessed it, but she got a feeling during COVID that a lot of people were like non-real people, like, but I don't know. Well, AI generation probably couldn't respond to my message and respond to your messages. I don't know. I tend to think that no matter whatever the public market sees as the best products, there's always a group of people who I think are like 2 generations ahead. So I think given the stuff that at least I have access to when it comes to, AI generations, to imagine 2 orders of magnitude generations better, I think it's pretty close to being able to, like some deep fakes, especially if you watch things like on a smaller screen, some deep fakes right now are already passable. So imagining, again, 2, maybe even 3 generations better, you have to assume literally all videos because it'll be easy to generate will saturate the entire market of viewable media. It's all going to be AI generated. And so it's just going to be, it's a war on attention, right? And AI videos will be used to, in that war. It's going to be a constant flux of, taking a video of, it's just going to be so easy to attack people, to create videos of them doing bad things that become passable and can spread on the internet very fast. And it's going to be an absolute shit show. You can imagine you can just like create a podcast of 2 people talking, saying awful things about other people. You can make clips out of them and they'll go viral before the person who got clipped can even come out and be like, I never said that. But I can assure you that I am walking on my treadmill as a real person now. Maybe. I'm assuming by the non-repeating motion says you're real. Well, I'm kind of just doing the same motion. I'm walking on a treadmill. So, but fair enough. Also, as a last, maybe not last, but like, we just both assume, I'm assuming you are a real person, I'm a real person. We're kind of also assuming, based on the assumption that we believe we have brains in our heads, but we've never seen them. You've never seen your own brain in your head, right? So that's another assumption that's like, wait, am I real? I mean, I've seen myself bleed, sure. I've cut, gotten paper cuts. But maybe that was just a rendering, if you will. So I don't know. I've never seen my brain. Just saying. And I'm not sure if I want to. That would be an interesting experience. Say you're in like an operating room and they just numb the area, but they give you a live feed of them like doing surgery on your brain. How crazy would that be? If they can keep the part of your brain that's like visual cortex, so you can literally watch someone operate on your brain, would that not be a wild experience? I've seen people do it with not their brain, like their knees or like other surgeries. That's crazy. To just see yourself get like split open. One of my friends has theory that pain is just your mind giving the idea that your pain is hurting but doesn't actually exist. Well, yeah, I would almost agree with that. I mean, in a sense, because you can like, if you're able to like say numb a certain part of your brain, yeah, the pain is literally just like nerve cells signaling to each other, and if you cut off the route of the signals, then yeah, you can cut off the pain. So it's kind of, yeah, saying the pain exists is interesting because you can kind of cut it off. But then, I mean, the argument could be made that the signals are still being sent, right? So the pain, if we say the pain is the signals are still there. They're just not, you've cut off the connection to the antenna, the receiver. So the pain is still there. The signal's still flowing. It's just you've cut off the connection to the receiver. So you're not receiving the signal. So yeah, pain is all sensory input and experience, I think, can fall in that same category of like questioning its existence. Because especially, yeah, considering all the like case studies of like people who have these like outlier conditions with their brains, right? Like there's some people who like taste in numbers. There's people who like see or listen in color. There's like a lot of interesting case studies on like things that can happen to like parts of your brain that make you think, yeah, like the construction of our reality is very fragile. Um, yeah, but yeah. So yeah, awesome friend. You should invite him into the chat one day. And we can nerd out on some philosophy. And then you have people like fucking David Goggins, who like, he's in pain and he's running these ultra marathons and stuff, and like he can like shut that down too. To where you can, yeah, there's like a part of your body that can like tell your pain like, fuck you, you're not real. I'm not gonna feel you. But then your body breaks down if it's like actually something wrong. And then there's like pain, like say you've been through a breakup. There's like heartache, heart pain, like pain. Yeah, there's other kinds of pain that's not physical. That's kind of weird too. It's like, what is that? Okay. All right, I think that's it. Okay. Any other theories to share about life being a lie? I mean, how much time do you have? I'll say that. I'll say this. I will say there's a book by Richard Dawkins called "The Selfish Gene," and Richard Dawkins is, I believe, the person who actually coined the term meme way before the internet even was around. And so he created like memetics and meme theory, and it's that book kind of like flipped my worldview, kind of, and it was just very insightful in just kind of, it kind of like shatters, it can shatter your conditioning of how you see the world, I guess. And so in meme theory, it's basically, imagine memes are like, right, the translation of how people use the word meme on the internet is similar, meaning they're just kind of these ideas that can spread virally, right? And so taking that piece And so if you imagine a meme as like this kind of this idea, it's like it can be a concept of a religion. It can be the idea of love, of family, these concepts, right? And so in his meme theory, the memes are the things that are actually evolving, not humans. So humans and like life, like animals, we're literally just vehicles. We carry the memes in our head, and so they're kind of the things that are in control, and like they use us to spread them, right? So the memes use humans as vehicles, almost like they're like parasites, and we're the hosts to the parasites, and they use us. So like, yeah, amazing read, great book, long but worth it. My explanation does it no justice, but in general, it's kind of this concept that it just kind of takes away your ego, and it just puts you in a kind of a humbling place of like, we're not, just because we have guns and can like kill other animals and stuff, we might not be, like I said, the most important thing in evolution. We might actually be being used, almost like the way pollen spreads from a flower, right? A pollen uses like wind to spread itself and plant seeds everywhere, right? That's the same thing. Kind of memes use us to spread themselves. But I guess that's not really like a fake reality. It's really just like a different perspective of like what could be happening. But it kind of speaks to what I was saying earlier, almost like kind of exactly what I was saying. Is like I replaced the word meme here with technology, and it could be the same thing. Like technology is using us to spread itself. Like imagine you're a conscious piece of technology, right? And you want to spread yourself out into the universe. What would you do? You would have humans get interested in technology, build rockets and lasers to like spread technology out into the universe, right? And so the whole time, technology has been in control, and it's kind of playing us by using us to spread itself. And we think, as humans, we're spreading us out into the universe, but obviously, what are we going to do first as a species? We're going to send, like we sent the Mars robot out into Mars first. We didn't send a human. So I think, there's this concept of technology has always been in the driver's seat, and we're really the passengers. What was I? Oh, what is 63 divided by 12? 5. Very, thanks. I don't know if it's well thought out, but I did used to smoke a lot of weed. I don't know if I originally thought of that when I was high once. I don't think so. I've always been interested in, I actually, as a, I think I was 20, I was in my early 20s, and this was before, I know you won't believe me, but this was before Neuralink. And I remember I was super high. I was sitting in my garage, and I had this, I might still have it. I have this this like art canvas thing that had just papers where you could draw stuff. And I had literally drawn out a theory of being able to, there's this concept, right, of like, you don't understand how I feel, right? Like, I can try to explain it to you with words, but how do I have proof that you know what it feels like to be in my shoes, right? And I was trying to think of a theory of how could we try to solve that problem. And I got it down to, it's literally an engineering problem. And I said, the first thing you would have to do is map out every single neuron, right? Sure, it could take a long time. But again, I was just trying to turn it into an engineering problem. And okay, so now we have every neuron mapped out, right? All you need is a device that can record the placement of every neuron while you're having an experience, right? And then you can have that recording, and you can place that in someone else's brain and play the recording to where that person experiences literally the exact same signaling as your brain was doing. So you can almost then say, you are experiencing exactly what I experienced because it's literally neuron for neuron, right? And I had an awesome, I drew out a little device. I literally pretty much drew out Neuralink in my head and on paper before. I'm not saying I'm no Elon Musk. I'm not trying to say that, because he's an executor. He's a great CEO guy. But I think we were talking about earlier, like, ideas. And like, I had that, I had that idea 15 years ago. And it stemmed from a place of, I think I was maybe going through a breakup, and I was like, I just want someone to experience what I'm experiencing. And I've just always been interested in, how the brain works, and yeah, kind of breaking it down to an engineering problem, because the brain has always been this complex, and it is, right, piece of machinery, biological machinery. But yeah, if you break that down and understand it, right, and then that introduces, okay, now I can take that same device, and instead of recording someone else's brain activity, I can create a literal experience. I can create memories and then kind of implant them in your brain, right? And then if you can introduce doing all of that wirelessly, now we're in trouble. Now that means that in theory, right, let's say in theory you've mapped out, again, every neuron and how it communicates to every other neuron, right? And you can somehow manage to do that computation wirelessly, and someone has that power to do that. You can literally send out memories wirelessly to where all people who have brains and antenna can almost download that. So, and then it comes into like, you know, maybe that's kind of what consciousness is. Maybe that's what's happening. You know, then there's this weird theory of, you know, when we fall asleep, right, and then we come out of sleep, who's to say we've experienced any memory that we have? Maybe they're all just memories implanted in our heads and we never actually had those experiences. Every time we wake up in the morning, then it's like, what the fuck? That's where I am at now. Thanks for letting me go on a tangent, but I don't know. To me, it makes logical sense that everything's kind of engineered like that. I don't know. And then, like, there's this mass hypnosis seems like an easy thing to do, relative. Done. I'll stop there. I don't know what you mean when you say you're not entertaining me. I'm very entertained. Well, that makes one person, right? And that's enough. I don't need to, I don't know. I consider, I enjoy thinking, I guess. And if, you know, I love that you're here, but I can also just have kind of this conversation in my head with myself. And I find joy from that too. Like, I find it very, I think a lot of my experiences have kind of been in my head, which is why I'm also just obsessed with the idea of the whole inner world. But yeah, I find it entertaining too, obviously, which is why I can talk about it forever. The fish man, you're bagged. You're still walking? Yes. In my, sorry, I know there's a loud blower thing, but yes, I'm still walking. I hate sitting. For the last like 3 years, oh, my battery might die soon. My camera's gonna die, but if it does, thanks for watching. I'll stick around until it does. But I hate sitting. I sat for like 2-3 years when I became a full-time freelancer, and I was miserable. And I realized because I wasn't moving. And I'm walking at a very slow pace, so it's not much. I think everyone can do it. I think everyone should do it. Movement is medicine. And yeah, I'm 5 miles, and it's easy. I'm literally not even sweating. And I've burned 575 calories, right? So I can eat, you know, whatever. I mean, I still like to eat relatively healthy, but yeah, I think walking desk treadmill is a no-brainer if you work from home, if you work a lot of hours at the desk. Sitting is just, ugh. I hate it. So hopefully, fish man, you're a fish, so you swim, so you understand. I'm just kidding. But yes, I'm actually, to be honest, like I said, I meant to do this only for an hour, the live stream. So usually in my morning walk, I don't usually hit 5 miles. I usually do like maybe 3, so this is a little bit longer than I usually do, but it's cake. It's cake. I also used to work at restaurants in my 20s, and I'd be on my feet for an 8-hour shift walking all day. So it's really, you know, people always have, you know, counter arguments. Oh, it's bad for your knees. I'm pretty sure sitting for 6 hours, I'll take walking. I'll take the knee, you know, if you want to say it's bad for my knees, I'll take that over literally just sitting any day. And that's my walking rant. I'm surprised my camera is still working. It has a little X over the battery. It is plugged in. Maybe it'll keep going. Who knows? It is noon though, so I might go make some food. I'm actually listening to nothing. I know that sound. I had these on. I'm glad you mentioned that. I was listening to a Twitter Spaces, but that ended like an hour ago, and I just had the headphones on for no reason, to be honest. Sometimes it actually helps with the guys who do landscaping in the neighborhood, but I don't know why I still have those on. But if I am listening to something while I'm working, usually it's that Lo-Fi Girl on YouTube. I like the binaural beats kind of thing. It's very kind of meditative. It puts you in that easy to work state. It's distracting just enough to keep you focused. Lo-Fi Girl, I don't know if you're a fan. Wait, you know about trading, right? Sure. What's your question? Any news on cutting the hair? That's funny. I remember you saying you were sick of it last time. Yes, I am trying to wait. I need it to be like 12 inches to cut it off to be able to donate it. And I think last time I checked, which was actually a while ago, it was 10. And I think I just got really good at being able to do this. So it's not as annoying because I literally always have it pulled back. So it's not really as annoying as it was. So I'm actually okay with it. So I don't mind maybe holding out to make sure it's like maybe 14 inches or 15 to be able to like give a really good donation. So I think that's what I'm going for. Yeah, I think that's where I sit with the hair. And yeah, I kind of like having it pulled back. not gonna lie. And because it's back a lot, there's not a lot of it around. I was really annoyed at it always falling out and there being hair all over my apartment, like I had a girlfriend, because I don't. So I just kind of got used to it. Can you give me some tips? I'm an ultimate beginner. Well, I'm sure you've already heard the classic tips that I would start with. Anyone would be make sure you're trading with capital or money that you are truly able to lose and it won't affect you. So do not trade with any money that should be going towards bills, or if you have a family, that should be going towards your family. That's number one. Some people suggest paper trading, which is kind of opening up an account and start trading real markets, but with fake money. I don't really suggest doing that, or because here's what most people do. They open up a paper account, which is fake money, and they like trade with like, you know, $100,000 or $1 million, right? And you're not learning anything because you're not playing with, you know, with real money. It's important to have skin in the game, but like I said, you can't be using money that you can't afford to lose. So either you paper trade first with an amount that you think you're going to start with, I don't know, $500, less, more, 1,000, I'm not sure where you sit financially. Or you skip paper trading and you kind of just start trading with very little capital, $100, right? And then, yeah, I mean, other tips are, you know, you have to figure out your trading style. Do you trade fundamental analysis based on well, what are you trading? Are you trading stocks or are you trading crypto? Are you trading fundamentals? Meaning, are you looking up reports from companies to see if they're actually like profiting? Are you trading technical analysis, meaning you're looking at charts and trading the charts? You have to figure out what's your time preference. Are you good at trading intraday, or are you more of a swing trader, meaning I can trade positions, you know, within a week or a month or a couple months? Or are you just a long-term investor, meaning you're not really trading, you are just allocating capital over the long term? You have to figure out all these things, right? And like, you have to figure out, are you interested, and you have to be honest with yourself. Are you interested in trading because you think, you know, a lot of your friends are like making money on like meme coins, and like you secretly want to get rich quick? You have to be honest with yourself. If that is the case, I can't give you tips because that's just gambling, right? And but if you are serious and you're like, I am interested, then yeah, just keep asking questions, keep learning. I use a mobile, how can I trade with it? I literally don't know how to withdraw my money. I don't know what that means. There's plenty of mobile platforms. So are you saying you don't know how to withdraw your money from, let's say, your bank account onto a trading app? Because usually, say you open an account on, again, I don't know if you're trading stocks or crypto. If you're trading stocks, well, let's say Robinhood, right? Because that's, again, I'm not suggesting that place necessarily, but you can trade both there, stocks and crypto. If you're saying, how can you withdraw money from your bank to Robinhood, you would open up a Robinhood account, and then it will ask you to deposit money from your bank, and then it'll walk you through the steps on how to do that in the app. So I guess that would be number one, would be finding where you want to start. There's E-Trade, there's Robinhood, there's Coinbase for crypto specifically. I don't know where you live either. If you live outside of the US, there's Binance, there's KuCoin, there's Kraken. So yeah, I'd need a little more details on exactly what you're trying to do here. Oh, you can probably hear me, but my camera died, so I think it's weird if I don't have a visual. So I'm out of here. It has been a pleasure, Mr. Fishman. Come back, or feel free to find one of my videos on YouTube and leave some comments or something, or I can, I really don't mind helping. Just reach out. And Mr. Crazy Platinum, appreciate you sticking with me. I literally did another hour, 20 minutes with you, so that was fun. Good times. Always having a good time, conversing, theorizing, and yeah, appreciate you stopping in. Nice talking to you again. Awesome. You too. I'm out of here. Have a good day. Have a good week. Maybe I'll come back later. I'll charge some batteries. We'll see. Later.